Paris was where I came when I first left home. I'm going to meet a lot of different people and ask them how they feel about what migration is, how they've made their success stories in this country, the country that I've always found to be a place of opportunity. Hi guys, I'm here doing the second series of Charlotte's Compass sur Rue d'Aligre. And as you can see, there's lots of activities going on around us at the moment. But I'm about to meet a woman called Patricia. She's described herself as a slasher. Now, I don't know what that is, but hopefully you'll follow me and find out. Hi Patricia, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good, thanks. I guess one of the major reasons that I wanted to meet you was because I could see that from what little I was able to read about you, your life has been so diverse. You defined yourself as a slasher. Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me what a slasher is, please?
A slasher is someone who is multipotential. So I don't have one job, I have jobs. And I switch from a job to another.
So where did you start off? What did you start off doing?
I am a fashion designer. Mm-hmm. So I was a fashion designer for years. I had shops and I had my own company. Mm-hmm. And for 18 years, and I sold it a few years ago. And then the thing is, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I just waited because I didn't know what my added value, my valeur ajoutée, I didn't know what it is. So I waited for people to tell me what I was good at. And it started with my friend in New York. I was in New York in a club. Yeah. And I was having a glass of champagne, maybe 2, maybe 3 glasses of champagne. And my friend said to, the owner of the club came, and my friend introduced me to the owner of the club as being Patricia, fashion designer, and the best DJ in Paris, which is totally wrong, because I'm a partier. And because I had maybe 1 too many glasses of champagne, I said, yeah, sure, I can do it. So he said, okay, so you booked for Fashion Week, for DJing in my club in Fashion Week in New York. And I said, yes, sure. And I came back to Paris. I absolutely forgot about this thing, because I had maybe another glass of champagne I was done. And I received this mail. Okay, so you booked for this Saturday at the end of Fashion Week, big party in New York. And I'm like, oh wow, what am I going to do? Am I going to say I'm a fraud? Because I was fraud.
No, you won't.
And my husband said, no, go. I mean, and try. And I was like, yeah. And I arrived and I did it. And it was a fantastic party.
And it just worked.
And it worked. And now I'm booked every year. And from there, I started DJing in Paris for fashion. And I'm now mixing for big brands, for Balenciaga,
That's incredible.
And so I get paid for something I do in my kitchen.
Spare time and that you love doing.
Yeah, and I've done that my whole life. I'm not a good DJ. I'm a fucking good DJ. I just know how to give energy and to energize people and to make them dance and it always works. I don't know why, it always works.
And you also, what did I read about that you teach about what it is to fall in love? Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me what that is?
Yeah, it's in a school called the School of Life.
Yeah.
And the School of Life was made by a philosopher, an English philosopher, who realized that you learn a lot of things at school, but you don't learn in life.
Yeah.
And if you're a Montessori teacher, you know what I'm talking about. So he decided to make a school when you could learn things like about life. And I teach love, how to make love last and how to find love.
Will you tell me about love and how to make it last? I'm so excited.
And I didn't know I could do that because I'm not a teacher. So I told them, okay, I'm going to go to London. I'm going to go to one of those courses in London.
Where's the course? I'm doing it too.
Oh, it's in London. It's great. And I came back to Paris and I said, yes, I think I can do it. At least I'm going to try. It's always about trying, So I tried and it was a huge hit and I've been doing it for 2 years now.
So you went into fashion, you had your own company, and then you come out and you go straight into being like a DJ, which is still it's an artistic thing. But I'm just looking at your shirt, we should all be feminists, and it kind of strikes me that the freedom that you have to express yourself, to do all of these different jobs, to be able to go for what you love.
I think that my father, without knowing it, was a feminist. My mother was a nurse and she was working at night. So my father took care of us. We have 3 sisters. And he was taking care of us during the day. I mean, when my mother was working, so he woke us up, cooked breakfast, dinner, lunch. The way he raised us was like, you can do anything. There's nothing you can't do. I mean...
So long as you believe you can do it.
Yeah.
What is feminism and how do you think that it's nurturing people, bringing them along, letting them feel that sense of freedom and ability to do anything they want?
The big fights are done. I mean, we can vote, we're independent, we can work, we can buy stuff without asking husbands, father, brother, whatever. But on a daily level, it's still very hard. Sexism is very, very hard. It's still very hard. The way women are seen as nice, delicate things. I mean, this is thing we have to fight about on an everyday basis. And the way that women don't say no, they don't say no. They usually say yes and they smile, yes. And when you don't like it, just say no without a smile. Just say no, I don't like it. I don't like to be talked in a vulgar way in the street. I don't like it, so it's a no. So it's feminism is the way to stand for, to be a strong person, because society doesn't make us strong persons. Society makes us delicate, nice, and smiley person, which of course we can be if we want to.
What would you define as a successful life? What would you define success to be to you?
To be inspiring. This is success for me. For success is to be inspiring. Because when you inspire someone, it's like giving her or him light, and is enlightened, and he can enlighten somebody else as well. And being a teacher, being a consultant, being a fashion designer, being a DJ, for me, it's the exact same thing. It's giving people inspiration.
In the climate that we're in France at the moment, people have argued and said, you know, there is a fear that things are spiraling downwards. But throughout your experience, throughout what you've learned, throughout what you do with your life, which is inspiring people and empowering women, what would you say to the 20-something-year-olds, up-and-coming young feminists, women that are in Paris, that are all over France? If you could give them any little words of advice or to inspire, what would it be?
Don't give a damn about judgment. Be yourself.
Brilliant.
Be who you are. Have green hair if you like. Wear a skirt if you're a boy. Don't give a shit about people what are going to think about you.
Like the kids, the same. All the kids, whether you're a boy or a girl, they're all in the same circle. I am who I am, and I like me.
Amen.
That's it. Amen. Well, it's been really good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Incredible.
My pleasure.
Incredible.